Hey, boys and girls, do you know that God is the best at keeping promises? I mean, listen, there is absolutely nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that can stop God from keeping his promises. Matter of fact, what I'm getting ready to say may sound a little weird, but it's true. Even God can't stop himself from keeping his promises. You feel me? In Acts chapter 13, a gentleman named Paul, who's a great preacher, and he wrote a lot of parts in the Bible, might I add. He is standing in front of a group of people, and he goes off. He goes in. He starts preaching a very powerful and dynamic message with the hope that it will enter into the hearts of the people who are listening to him and hopefully change their hearts and compel them to follow Jesus Christ. But there's a particular line in his message that really caught my attention when I read it. He said that God made a promise to his ancestors. And ancestors are people who live long before you and I. God promised people from an earlier generation that he would do something great. They didn't get to see that promise, but God kept his promise through generation after generation after generation. And let me tell you, a generation is a very long time. Through all those generations, God kept his promise to the children of the ancestors, which Paul was a part of that group. And the truth of the matter is, you and I are a part of that group as well, believe it or not. God kept his promise to the children of the ancestors, and that promise was raising up Jesus Christ. What do you mean raising up Jesus Christ? You mean picking him up and making him do something like that? No. Raising him from the dead. That's right. If you don't know, now you know. Jesus was crucified. He was put in a tomb because he died. He stayed there for 3 days, and on the third day, he got up. But Paul labels this event that actually took place. Paul labels this promise that God actually fulfilled. He labeled it as the good news. Who doesn't like good news? Listen, I want you to know that all of God's promises are good news to us. God fulfills all of his promises. If God says he's going to do something, best believe your boy, God is going to do it. And I don't just say this because I read God's promises in the Bible. I say this because God has fulfilled promises that he has made to me. I've seen the fulfillment of God's promises in my own life. Here's what makes this even more special. God is good, and he's good on his word and his promises. Either way. But when he caused Jesus to rise up from the dead, that made God's promises even more effective. The fact that he chose to raise Jesus from the dead so you and I can be saved and live a great life, that's even more proof, that's even more evidence that God is willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that we experience his goodness and that we can be close to him and in relationship with Jesus. Thank God that Jesus didn't stay dead. Thank God that the tomb is empty, because let me tell you something. Jesus being raised from the dead and the tomb being empty, it constantly reminds us that the good news is because of Jesus Christ and because of the goodness of God, God is going to always keep his promises, friends. So let me tell you this. I don't care what anybody tells you. God is good on his promises. And you can count on him no matter what.
Hear us praise your name, see the darkness fade, dance the night.